yes, it's just being tabled.
We need to vote on that?
No, we just, table it.
Okay.
Daryl's got a motion on the table to, pass this to next council meeting, or next special council meeting, either one, because we've been having a bunch of them. But anyway, I need a motion and a second on
I'll make a motion, we table it till the next meeting.
Pickney,
Yes.
Waldrop,
Yes.
Decker,
Yes.
Linebaugh,
Yes.
Hancock, Taylor.
it. Need a motion and a second to approve the April 8th minutes.
Mayor, I'll just say that's similar language in that one, so I'll just make a motion that we do the same thing. I don't know how we did we.
I'll second.
Daryl made the motion, second by, Gary Decker.
Decker,
Yes.
Taylor, Pickney,
Yes.
Linebaugh,
Yes.
Hancock, Waldrop.
Yes.
You got to call Terry, huh? Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Hear from the department heads. Let's do the police department first.
We had 15 FTA, FTP warrants, we had 6 drug charges, 3 criminal charges, and 28 traffic charges.
Has anybody talked to you about your budget yet? Because I mentioned it to Mr. Decker and I mentioned it to Mr. Darrell Pickney.
I don't recall you mentioned it to me.
Yes, sir, I did, because you're gonna be over. As you're running 10 to 11 officers a week. The high, you're gonna be over 100,000 over budget. Low, you're gonna be 46,000 over budget. Your gas,
I don't see us getting extremely high. We had an officer that finally got out of the academy, so we were paying 2 officers for the same.
this is the first week, last week that it went down, isn't that right, Belinda?
He's
It
finally
went to
out.
40
He's finally out of the academy.
4,800, something like that. But your gas bill is running, if you're running as high as you are, you're gonna be 28,000 over on your gas.
Yeah, no one's talked to me about anything yet. If there's things we need to look at, we can look at.
Let's go.
Yeah, I understand you had a lot of extra hours also because other than usual, for you and things.
We've had a lot of FOIAs that we've been trying to take care of, and we've also had multiple extreme weather events that have taken up a lot of our time. This last month, 3 different occurrences where we had to get a bunch of officers out just in case.
Chief, I know this last month was a little high, like you say, because of the academy and because of for you. But if we look at the first 4 months of the year, you spent $64,665. If you do if you get 16,000 a month times 12, that's it up to 193,932, and you've got a budget of 240, so you still got $47,000 below budget. I think that's a good job.
You've only put 3 months. That's only 3 months.
3 months.
That's only 3 months.
They stay a month behind what Turl told us.
Well, it says it's for the 4th month ending April 30, as I have to go by the paperwork.
I can show you the receipts though.
Well,
It's 20,000 a month.
it's not 9% right now.
Okay. It's more important to be formal than correct. I understand that.
Well, all I'm saying is we're gonna have to do something or we're gonna be in very serious trouble. And it ain't the mayor that's doing it.
So we're going to have to pray that,
We all probably need to go back and relook at the budget and redo the budget, because I'm telling you, you got one department that is spending left and right, and
Which department is that?
police department,
Yeah, that's not a thing. We
Okay.
have no budget to spend money.
okay?
That's just our salaries and our gas. We're not spending left and right. We have no money to spend on anything.
Okay.
And Mayor, there may be a time that we do look at everything, when I looked at administrative, we were way up there. So we need to look at it.
Our budget's 85,682.91, and we've only spent 36,406.86, so how far have we got?
Well, multiply it to the end of the year and you'll see it's over.
I still say that we're gonna have to look at the budget and try to get something straightened out. So, anyway, fire department,
Mayor, if we have a budget session, for the last 2 or 3 years, I've asked to be a part of it, I've always been.
you was in the last part of this last one. We had it right in here, we did the budget, we come back, somebody wanted us to vote on it that night, we didn't vote on it, we voted on it in the council.
Yeah, the budget committee, whoever they were, I don't know who they were, that already worked out, they brought us the numbers.
Cheryl Downey sat right here in front of you, Darrell, and asked questions and answered questions and everything on the budget.
Yeah, but that's not part of being a part of the budget meeting and working on getting those numbers. Maybe just
If
get
the whole council's part of the council is working on the budget, then I think that you're part of the budget.
Well, Mayor, I'm just saying, if we start to redo the budget, let's get a committee, I'd like to be a part of it.
Man,
Well, I don't think it's uncommon that you adjust your budgets as the year go along, and we may have to do that.
Mark,
April calls, we had 29, we got 100 to the year to date. We had 243 or 48, I think was Charlotte's number, on training hours last month. We had 916 for the year. Any questions? Okay.
Mikey,
I had 5 water taps, 2 sewer taps. We fixed a 4-inch water main. We had 3 water leaks. We fixed a 4-inch force main from the sewer. We done 20 door hangers. We had 5 turn-offs and turn-back-ons. On the work orders, we had 94 reading check for leaks, 8 finals, 5 sewer calls. And on the street department, we put some coal bags out, done some brush hogging, mowing. Put some cornerstone out to kill some grass, we replaced a rubber oil ring on the hydraulic line and the fittings.
and I'm gonna tell all of you councilmen, you need to, when you leave tonight or come up tomorrow and go over to Lanny Tinker's, and we're gonna have to hire somebody to bore underneath the highway, and so it's gonna be expensive. It's gonna be 20, at the highest 30,000, lowest 10,000.
So it's a sewer break under the highway.
Yes.
Yep, we worked on it all day yesterday, the biggest part of the day today, and it's above us. I'm just gonna tell you right now, we can't.
Isn't it considered Lindsay Street? And can we not cut into it?
No, it's a highway.
Well, I'm
I
saying,
mean, whether it's called Lindsay or not, it's a state
okay,
highway.
that's what I was asking.
Yeah, it's a state
We
highway.
can get a permit and cut into it, but if the permit is gonna run us something like 2,000 every 2 feet. So you figure across that whole big highway, and then you have to fix it back to state specs.
Yeah.
And so it would be cheaper to bore underneath.
Is that something we have to do a bidding process on, or do we
Yes.
consider it emergency? Or?
Well, it's emergency, but I mean,
I would think it's an emergency. Like I called John City or the city engineer, and maybe he'll call me back in the morning and we'll find out, we'll get somebody some bids on it or something, but I think it needs to be done as quick as we can.
Well, as a council, do we want to just, what do we want to do, just have them fix it?
Yeah, I've had citizens complain to me today about a serious problem. I was gonna, even that, I was gonna recommend that if we don't have the expertise to fix it, get somebody.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get somebody. If they get it more done on the road, we can lay the line.
Gonna take 450 feet of new pipe. And then that whole sewer line down Laney Tinker's
You're
street will
talking
be
about,
new.
you're talking not only is it a problem under the highway, it's down that street as
Yes.
well. To the manhole?
From
It's
the
where
main-
we put the new pipe in and we stopped the last time. From there, it's 450 feet to the next manhole. That's under the highway and everything.
So you're going south?
Yes,
Okay, so Landing Street is good, it's south that you got
half
to
of
go.
Landing Street up,
Okay.
up to that house or somewhere, I can't, I'll have to.
It'll be in front of that house.
Is it in the road or is it on the right
Yes,
of
it's
way?
in the road.
I think there's some actually sewer coming up already,
There it is, I went shut it off. I mean, I'm just gonna have to let it slowly.
That has been a problem for a long time, that line has.
Yes.
It's been that way for years.
Yeah,
And it's just, we got these new pumps now, and they pump more, and now they pump more, and the line.
collapsing the line?
Yes.
Laney called me and I told him what we was doing and he said, well, just do the best we can. The girls didn't understand at the office because you can smell the sewer from out there outside. So,
And this afternoon, I went by there, you can really smell it. I mean,
Yeah.
it was coming up, and I've got the SSO reports that in the morning.
Yep.
When I turn the pump on tonight, I'll go down there and however long it is, I'll figure the gallons up, and that's what I do. I'll send it to Arkansas.
So you turned it on tonight and because there's not a lot of usage overnight, it'll allow it to run down.
I'm hoping so, yes.
Well, like as you say, hopefully, this morning, John said he may have some recommendations that who could come to it.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. You got
Then
it.
we'll just have to call a special council meeting and let y'all decide on it.
We'll do what we gotta do, because we gotta get it fixed.
Old business, we don't have none. New business, bids for paving streets. Mikey, tell them the bids and then tell them the streets that you're paving.
On the bids, we had $175,143.23 from Atlas. From Scuggs, we had $184,800. From Richard Bond, we had $236,825.33. And from McNally's, we had $187,320.
How much do we have in that account?
Street account?
Street account?
It's got $260,000.
Okay. So, and the lowest bid was 175?
Yeah,
Yes.
I called Atlas.
Yeah, that's one we took.
Who are the bids from?
Huh?
Who are they from?
Jonesboro. It's where your husband used to get all his asphalt from.
Where is, what are the streets that we're doing?
Okay,
We are doing something, we're doing a 47 by 20 on northeast Georgia, a 365 by 10 on northeast Georgia. On northeast Oak, we're doing 116 by 19. On southeast Third, we're doing 1270 by 16. On southeast Hayes, we're doing 121 by 17. And then from Cherry Street to Second Street on southeast Hayes, we're doing a 333 by 17. On northwest Horseshoe, it's 664 by 18. Northeast Kelly is 105 by 18. Southeast Second is 110 by 27. Northeast 4th Street from the railroad tracks to Jackson is 691 and 18. Circle Drive is 700 by 16. Northeast 4th is 160 by 16. Southwest Cali from the highway to Broad Street is 234.18. And the community center is 210 by 65.
Would you mind giving that list to, Bernie and let her, email that to us?
I don't have it.
We should have.
I have not been given copies of
That way
anything
we
on
can email
that.
it and then we can look at it.
When the asphalt people make quote, Mayor, man, do they put it on the square footage of coverage, or how many pounds they send?
square footage that you
Square
covered.
footage of coverage. Square footage of coverage.
Okay, so, I didn't hear it. Is there a standard, is it 2 inch, 4 inch, 6 inch?
3 inch boards, what they do, when they pack it down in the 2.5, 2 inches or something like that.
It's 2 inches.
So,
That's standard, I guess.
yes, I guess, see, that's what everybody does.
Are we gonna fill the holes or whatever? with
No, they
gravel?
do all that.
They fill it with gravel?
Yep, they'll do everything.
No, they do it with blacktop.
Would gravel not be better, or is it?
No.
Asphalt.
So is Atlas the one gonna do
Yes. And, he'll bring a contract over here and then, we need a motion in a second to let me sign it.
I'll make a motion, we accept the bids and the streets that will be done.
Decker,
Yes.
Waldrop,
Yes.
Taylor, Linebaugh, Hancock, Pickney.
Yes.
Next thing on the agenda is to amend the budget by transferring money from sanitation savings fund to general fund. That's
That's the garbage truck, we'll be taking money out of the garbage truck.
that's it. That's the sanitation fund. Since the sanitation went into problems and they paid out of general fund the $22,000 to fix the garbage truck, they should have took it out of the sanitation fund, which they did not. So now we're going to take $74,000 from the sanitation fund, leaving $2,000 in it.
For what? Well, we spent 20-something thousand. fixing
Okay,
garbage
you
truck.
got $7,000 fix another truck, don't you mind?
Yep, but that's
Okay.
still 70,000.
But I mean, it's just we're running low on money, so they.
General fund needs money, that's where, that's.
And
really
especially
that-
after we get this
Okay,
street over
that's
there.
fine. I mean,
After we get this street over here, we're gonna be back flat busted
that's
again.
fine.
We get the water and sanitation bills changed, and then I think the general will be better, and we can hopefully put extra money back into that fund as time comes.
He just, I just wanted to know where we're going there.
Well, I understand, and I appreciate, you know,
And we're gonna take and we'll stick our $1,000 every month back in.
and hopefully more if we can.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want to know where we're going to.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we, that the city of Hoxie will move $74,000 from the sanitation savings fund to the general fund.
I'll second it.
Decker,
Yes.
Pickney,
Yes.
Taylor, Linebaugh, Hancock, Waldrop.
Okay, the next one Jerry put on here, I
You had the police
guess.
department.
No,
You
police
Well, we already talked to the police
Okay.
department.
Police department.
He
We already talked to the police
discussed
department,
it.
it's done.
Are you done with that?
Yep, classifying duties of the mayor pro tem.
Pass that to the mayor if you want to. It was suggested that we clarify the role of the mayor pro tem rather than leave it just in a general, you know, not really giving the actual duties of what they will do. And so we have created a resolution here that will clarify for everybody and formalize the approval of what the president pro tem is going to do. Do we need to make a motion before we read the resolution, or do we read it first?
So read it.
Read the resolution first?
If you're gonna present the resolution.
Okay, you make, one of y'all want to second it? All right, a resolution
Do I
appointing.
need to
ma-
take votes?
Yeah, we probably should take a vote, yeah.
Decker,
Yes.
Waldrop,
Yes.
Taylor, Linebaugh,
Yes.
Hancock, Pickney.
Yes.
All right, here's what the resolution, how the resolution reads. A resolution appointing Mayor Pro Tem for the city of Hoxie, Arkansas, and other matters. Whereas the city of, council has determined that it is in the best interest to have a Mayor Pro Tem to act or perform, act for and perform the duties of the office of mayor in the event that the mayor is absent, able or unwilling to perform his or her duties as mayor, and whereas Tim Taylor has been duly elected or appointed by the city council as mayor pro tem for the city of Hoxie to serve in such capacity until his term as city council member lapses or until a new mayor pro tem is duly elected, which would be at the end of this particular election cycle in 27 is when we have to vote for somebody else. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council in the city of Hoxie, Arkansas as follows. That Tim Taylor shall be the mayor pro tem of the city of Hoxie until his term as city council member lapses or until a new mayor pro tem is duly elected by the city council, and in such capacity shall have the duty to act for and perform the duties of the office of the mayor in the event that the mayor is absent, unavailable, unwilling, or unable to perform his or her duties as mayor. Just gives a more clarification of what the role of the mayor pro tem is.
To your knowledge, does the city attorney have a blessing for that?
He wrote the resolution. Any other discussion?
I believe there's a statute in the law books down at Municipal League that already says what the mayor pro temp does and everything.
Well, we're clarifying it for the city of Hoxie.
I'll make a motion that you take that resolution.
First duty will be for him to sign it.
Okay. Either one of y'all want a second?
I'll second.
Decker,
Yes.
Waldrop,
Yes.
Taylor, Linebaugh, Hancock, Pickney.
Yes.
Hear from visitors.
Mayor, one other thing, I got one piece of new business, I'd actually sent it to you and the clerk, but it went to our business computer, and they didn't read it, so I wanna just make a motion that we add that agenda item, the new business that has to do with, some, asphalt equipment that we used to have. I'll make a motion.
I don't believe there's in so big a hurry that we can't put it off to next month.
No, I got some questions I'd like to have answered tonight.
How do you say, Jerry?
Anybody y'all want a second?
And I'll second.
Decker,
Yes.
Pickney,
Here, yes.
Taylor, Linebaugh,
Yes.
Hancock, Waldrop.
Yes.
And to bring it up before we get to specific questions, a citizen came to me and said that there's some Hoxie equipment for sale at a place. And so I went and talked to the owner, and he said, yeah, he bought it. That he bought it. I said, out of the city? No, he said, I bought it from another. So at that time, I seen it was getting.
Mr. Langston had the bid on it, and that's the one that you sold the old paving machine. And I believe, didn't McIntyre buy one of the tanks or something, other oil tank? So, all you need to do is go over it and look through the records and you find everything you
I started
want.
saying, I've already filed it for you, and y'all clerks went through and the answer to me was, you don't have any records of any money ever coming in and giving to the city for that equipment.
Well, how about the tractor that we sold too, Darrell?
Huh?
How about the big tractor that we sold?
That's all
We
I'm
made
talking
money off of it.
about. I'm talking about,
We took bids like we supposed to. It was bidded out. Mr. Langston got the lowest bid on it. But on the oil tank or something like that, Mr. McIntyre got the lowest bid on it. So therefore, it was sold. The old paving machine, that we had trees growing up in it and everything.
I was on the council at that time, but I don't remember being bid. I've asked other councils, they don't remember.
No, you was not, because it was when I first went in.
No,
Peggy was the treasurer and clerk. Peggy bidded it out and everything.
our asset list said it was sold out of the year 2021.
Yeah, I don't care what the assets said. Well, here's some records here. We've got maintenance out of the radio fund. What maintenance do we have out of the radio fund?
Let's talk about this.
Well, I'm just saying, we got paperwork, it's all screwed up. But we're
If
gonna,
you've got more information about the asphalt machine, 2 rollers, and the big tank, revise mine for you and answer that, maybe we can get it all satisfied. But as of right now,
we do not have time to go up in that attic and chase down all the paperwork. You're welcome to go up there and chase it down.
no, I think it's
Okay.
not the council. I'm just saying that if we can't give them some answers to us and the citizens that we have sold these guys, and they bought this equipment and supposed to have sold it to the city, and we don't have any records that we got it.
And
That's a
have
serious
no
problem.
recollection of this ever taking place.
Yeah. That's a
Have
legal
any,
matter.
have any one of you called Peggy and asked her about it?
There are no records in the records to show it that anything had happened.
Not being for sale, show where the money went.
We should have receipts where we took the money in on the stuff.
Darryl, is that what you FOIA'd, Darryl?
Yes. And Mayor, I would ask if you,
Belinda
I
had those
understand you're not
records.
spending much at City Hall. You spend some time at City Hall and find those records if they're up there.
I do not get any records. I'm being honest with you, I don't. We elected 2 people to do our
But you
for
wanted me to go do it?
If it's so important for you to have it, then,
Well, it's important to the citizens
oh,
of
the
this.
citizens.
And me, I agree.
Okay.
I got a question. That equipment sent over here at Langston's,
2 years.
till, I guess, a couple of years ago, or whatever, till Mr. Shoe bought it. Why is it all of a sudden sitting out by the highway? All of a sudden, it's popped up, and everybody wants to know where it's at, and it's way back off the
Well,
highway.
I for one never knew we owned asphalt
That's,
equipment.
You sold that stuff.
Mike's asked about, asking answers a valid question. Let me answer you. It's just coming up now about a citizen came to me and said, there's some equipment up there, go look at it and one of this man's got it. And I went and looked, that's about probably the last 3 weeks ago. So that's when it's come up.
Okay. Did you go over and talk to Mr. Langston?
No,
No, he went to the police department, and the police department went down and talked to Mr. Shoe. And Mr. Shoe said the police department needs to do the damn job, not to be after the mayor all the time.
From what I remember, it was bidded. Langston and them got it. They spent weeks over there.
Yes.
Getting all that stuff.
He left that old paving machine for almost 2 years over there.
Left it. I mean, it was there forever. You know, so, I mean, there's no, I don't feel like there's no backdoor stuff going on.
well, I talked to Mr. Chu himself after the citizen talked to me, and he certainly didn't say what Dennis said. But anyway, when he told me he sold it to somebody else, somebody that I didn't even know, I turned it over to the police. And
Without finding out all the information first?
Huh?
Without finding out all the information?
Yeah, I did it for you.
Well,
Yeah.
he did the same way he did with the flooring. They never got no search warrants for any of my shop buildings. They got it for a rent house. So, they're gonna have to prove.
Josh, if you tell us, because you got more information now than I have, because I turned it over to the police department.
Yeah, that's a good.
So who bought the tank? Who has the tank? Because you didn't say, you said it.
You ought to know that.
You're the police.
Well, you said it wasn't Langston that had the tank, somebody else did, correct?
I didn't say anything. I said Langston.
Correct?
No, no.
Correct.
Okay, Tyler, sit down. We're gonna finish council. We're gonna finish the council meeting.
But
Let sit down.
you know, there you go. The reason I brought this up, so you give us a fair answer.
We gave you a fair answer.
It was put up
Peggy
for
was
years,
the,
Langston got it, and then come and picked it up forever, and it's gone, it's been gone for.
and it wasn't no count. The little bitty roller was the only thing that was decent, and we got what, $400 bill?
400 or 500, everybody much out of it. That was the only thing worth, everything else should have been scrapped.
Yes.
But you can understand as council members, you expect the bidding process to be very public and that you talk to the, well.
It was.
Why did I never know we had this equipment until
I had no
recently?
idea. You must not read the newspaper, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Because it was big in the newspaper.
We have to read the newspaper, it should be in our packets. What's going on in the city?
Oh.
We should have all this information in our packets.
Mayor, I would just ask you, over the next 10 days, give us all the information you can to satisfy everybody. But if we can't do that, it's gonna be a legal matter.
Yeah.
We don't have
Hey,
to do it.
you'd love to put legal matters on me, but you're gonna find out it's gonna be legal matters on y'all at the end. But.
No. What
There.
legal matters have we-
Okay, let's go on to the one visitors.
I
Okay.
don't think we should be disrespecting him like that. I'm tired of seeing that.
I'm sorry to him disrespecting the mayor.
He wasn't.
Okay.
He did nothing anyway.
You need to go outside.
Make me.
Police department, take her outside. She's banned from the council meeting. Who's,
James Millsap.
Got it.
So, I got a problem.
okay, what you got, bud?
First encounter meeting you had, we got it,
Yeah,
Can you speak up, please?
and it was
Who was
over,
speaking?
it was over the extra trash people.
James
had.
Millsap.
Alright, so, I grew up here. And it has never looked worse than it does now. But you told me that if we wanted our extra trash picked up, we had to buy another trash can.
the council made the rules.
Okay.
Need to direct your questions to the council too.
This is for everybody. But why should we have to do that? Because then, if we don't buy another trash can, because some people here don't have the funds to be able to do that and be able to pay that, why ain't y'all doing more to help the citizens that actually want to clean up their yard and get it done without having to have more money from us and us getting tickets and getting even more money taken from us when it's not cleaned up?
Well, I think that the intent of it was that if you have enough trash sitting around that you can, to have another trash can, then you have, but if it's that way every once in a while, it shouldn't be that big a deal, but
He has one trash can from the city and 3 trash cans of his own.
I got 2 trash cans.
Oh, well,
But
you
is that
told me
is that a
3.
weekly occurrence?
No, they picked it up once because I was doing some work and I had some trash. But then I waited the next week and put them out there again so I could just get rid of it and be done. Well, they never picked it up. I went up.
Was this household trash stuff that came from the house?
Yes, it came from the house outside, stuff like that. I've been trying to clean that yard up because,
Well, if he has stuff that's not household trash, you can take it to the city truck
Right.
at the shop.
yeah, but I was told you had to pay to do that.
No, not the,
Not if you're a
the shop.
Then, okay, then why didn't you say that the other day instead of saying?
Because you
had to
didn't
buy
ask
a
me
trash
about
can?
that, sir. You asked me about picking up trash cans. You told me that you had 2 trash cans of your own and one of the city. And I said, that's the reason why they raised the sanitation fees right now, because it ain't fair for us to pick up 3 trash cans at your house and pick up 1 at Darrell Pickney's, and Darrell Pickney paying for your other 2 cans.
Okay, do you know that there's other citizens in this town that have fire pits with extra trash? I seen a guy the other day.
But they burn it all the time. They get burning permits from the fire department.
Yes, but we shouldn't have to do all that.
Oh.
Y'all as city members should be doing more to help the community instead of taking more money from the community.
Sir, if we don't raise, we'll go broke, and the city will
Yeah,
fail
but
to
there's
exist.
other types of ways to put money back into the city.
Sure, there are dozens of ways, but they're not what's gonna happen.
How come y'all are not doing that? Instead, y'all rather take more money and more money and more money
Trust
from the
me,
city.
we don't rather do that, but it's just something
Then
we
why
have
does
to
it keep
do.
happening?
I'm sorry?
Then why does it keep happening?
We raised trash rates for the first time in what, 7 or 8 years? Just last month.
Since
So-
11, maybe,
Yeah,
11 or
but
17.
y'all still not doing nothing to help the community. Y'all just
We
killing
have a
grass.
truck down there that's from the community, for anybody who lives in Hoxie that wants to bring something down there, can bring it down and put it in there. If the truck is empty. It's available.
Yeah, it's there at the city shop.
And if someone, how many people
Matter of fact, I'm taking stuff there tomorrow.
But how many people actually know that?
Well, I can't go around the city with a bullhorn letting people know, take your trash to the city.
Yes,
city
but
shop.
when we first buy our trash can, we should be told that. Am I correct?
You were told, you were told you.
They're not told about the truck, they are told about the trash cans.
Yeah.
And that's,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
I mean,
y'all,
the
you
truck-
talking about trash cans, y'all don't say nothing.
I guess we can modify the paperwork to say, mention
But
that.
also understand,
Do more to make it correct. to
but
where
also
we don't
understand
have
if,
these types of events.
if you and everybody else has more trash, that's more cost for the city when we go to dump our trucks too.
Okay, but if the city actually cares about the community, are y'all willing to pay that?
We care, but there's only.
Okay, then prove it.
But there's only so
Then
much.
prove it. Prove y'all care. Do something for the community besides stand around
Time's up.
and sit on your butts all day and do nothing.
Your time's up.
Time's up, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who's the next one?
Nancy Hall. No, he's not here, so.
Yeah, Cody, in here.
It's okay, if you can hear me well enough without me standing up there. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Okay. The budget issue. What I never understood for the 5 years plus that I was your city attorney, the budget doesn't look like you think it does. When you get the totals through March 31st, you're actually getting totals for December, January, and February. It's been that way since the beginning of time, and it has to do with the difference between accrual accounting and cash accounting. So for instance, what I was talking about earlier, and I apologize to you, that was inappropriate of me to interrupt you. It wasn't appropriate, but I'll tell you what my point is now. If you look, and I don't have this month's because I don't have that kind of access any longer to your financials, but last month's financials, I was able to get those, and this was just a time crunch issue. When you look at the amount, for instance, of, since we were talking about the police department budget, let's just talk about the police department budget. Their salary for the month, and it says at the top, Hoxie General Fund, Police Department for the 3 months ending March 31st, 2025. This is what you all would have gotten last month. I don't expect to have in front of you. It says that the gas that month was $1,277. Well, I already knew that the gas for the police department was well over $2,000. So I asked Terrell that question and said, why do these not match? Here's all the receipts. Here's the number. Why don't those match? He said, because you're paying them up behind. And then that got into the conversation of accrual accounting versus cash accounting. So technically, you're seeing 3 months at the end of March. You were seeing your quarterly. But for instance, where it said salaries and wages, it says $9,703.55 for the police department for the month of March. But there's not one single week during the entire year. Well, there is one, and it was this past week, where your payroll was under $5,000 per week. Well, if there are at least 4 weeks in a month, how could it be $9,700? It's not. It's $20,000 some odd dollars per month. And you've got the backup payroll to see it. That's not the only example. So you can talk about an officer who was in training, for instance. Okay, he gets full-time pay, perfectly fair, great. That's not against training, that's just against the general fund, not even the police fund, because he continues to get paid. He also continues to get gas. The cost of the actual academy, which I'm sure there's something, never gets included in the police budget because it just ends up in kind of a general slush fund for other things. So it's not an accurate number of all of these. And I was trying to express this to Delinda the other day, which didn't really have time to hear me, but I'm trying. It's not anyone's fault that this is the way it is. I just don't feel the council understands what it took me, like an hour for Terrell to get through my hat, which was that you're not actually seeing correct numbers. So right now, today, if I don't have that copy of whatever came out for the month ending April 30th, but if I take that number right this second, it's not going to represent what happened. It only represents what bills were paid them. So if the gas is charged in February and the invoice comes in March and it's paid April, it would be considered April's bill. And that's kind of misleading for department heads. I wanted to bring that to your attention because I don't feel like that's kind of the way that, I never saw it that way, but then again, it wasn't my deal with the financials. On the thing about the bidding on these, I remember it.
Quickly,
It was-
you're over 3 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, keep 10 seconds.
Go ahead and tell them about
But
that.
I do remember the bidding process. I feel like the problem might be either the records, if the girls can't find them, I don't know where else they would be if they can't find them, maybe upstairs. I think that's.
She,
Can I say something?
Please.
I did go through the receipt books, I went through, what I could find for the whole month, because it.
The whole year.
Fixed asset, it was sold in 2020.
I think the fixed
And I
asset
went
is
through every receipt,
updated.
well, I went
in
through
2020.
every receipt book, and I could not find a receipt.
And that,
And just one
that's a penny
quick-
miles kind of thing, but
One quick question.
Yes, sir.
Did I understand you to say that you don't have access to this month's data, right?
as an explanation a little further, my better half was just diagnosed with pancreatic stomach cancer, so I've been up in Illinois, so I haven't had the ability to ask about it. Now, do I have FOIAs of their stocks in? Yes, I do. Officer Rakoczy had promised me he was gonna get things to me, and the only other question I really had was, I wanted to know how many undercover officers the city of Hoxie thinks it has. And I know that that's one thing I am allowed to ask. I can't ask who it is or how many hours they work, but I do want to know how many undercover officers we have on staff at.
The chief should answer that. How many undercover officers have we got, chief?
Are you asking working for a different department, working PTF, what?
I'm asking for the city of Hoxie, do they employ anyone who's an undercover officer?
Are you
Does
talking?
anybody
We
have a
have officers that do undercover work, if that's what you're asking.
Well, it has to be classified under FOIA, you have to disclose how many undercover.
Are you
officers
asking,
are.
do we have undercover that are not listed on the payroll? Is that what you're saying?
I'm asking if the council has approved any undercover officers to be employed by the city of Hoxie and receive checks from the city of Hoxie.
My answer, to my knowledge, no.
To your knowledge, Ms. Waldrop, is there any, Mayor, do you,
No.
Can I ask you that?
No, yeah, you already asked me, and I
That's all
told
the
you.
questions I had, thank you so much.
Okay, next
Tyler?
one.
Tyler?
Tyler Combs?
I was just wondering, this is mainly for Mike, is it possible we could get a four-way stop put up at Second and Jackson? Northeast Second, right there about the house, behind us? Because there was a pretty bad accident there not too long ago, and people fly through there all the time, and there's a bunch of near misses too.
Yeah.
I don't think, we've done that once before, and it's a big.
Everybody starts griping about the four-way
Right,
stop.
it's been done. I don't think we can. We can put a, slow down for children sign or something right there for you, Tyler. I mean, I don't know. But I don't think we can put a four-way stop just because.
Well, if the council wants it there,
With the traffic there, it's something that we need to study. My wife had right there back several years ago, at that same place.
It's a two-way,
It's a two-way, and if you come around the Oak Street there, you can't hardly see the stop signs, so people just go through there all the time.
If the city council says put a four-way stop sign there, I'll put two more stop signs.
can we put a sign up that says stop sign ahead or something like that? Put up a sign that says
There's
that.
two stop signs when you come around. You can drive around and see the stop sign, unless you're driving way too fast, and you ain't gonna stop anyway. So I don't know, but if y'all want two stop signs up, I'll put two stop signs up. But any legal questions or duties or whatever, All y'all have to take care of it.
Well, if you remember, we put a stop sign down by Jeff Brady's house,
Pull it down.
and we had to go back down and pull them down because there's more people griped about it than wanted it.
And then there was some of them that said that you had to go through a process to put a stop sign up. And I didn't realize that you had to do that, so.
Can you put like a slow sign there or something to help with the traffic, maybe?
Yeah, I give them slow,
Try
give
that
them
first.
songs slow.
Slow sign, does that
Slow
work?
or something, put up there, I'll do that.
Try that first.
Okay.
Who's next?
That's good, unless you wanna let Cody speak.
No, we
Okay. Need a motion to adjourn now.
need a motion and a second to adjourn.
Motion back down.
Second.
Decker,
Yes.
Waldrop, Taylor, Linebaugh, Hancock, Pickney.
Yes.